So John Jones could be facing jail time. So the news broke today that John Jones has been charged with two misdemeanors relating to an interaction with a drug testing agent who visited his home to collect a sample back in March. Now I remember when this news story broke back then, when it came out. Pause, big pause, especially when we're talking about John Jones here. But yeah, I remember when this news story broke, then John Jones went online, if I remember this correctly, to say it was kind of like a misunderstanding and stuff like that. And then after that, you really haven't heard anything since until now. Now, from my knowledge, a misdemeanor isn't anything too serious. I could be chatting shit though, I'm not too sure, but I think that's what it is. But anyway, it says that John Jones could be facing jail time under a year and could be fined up to $1,500. Now that makes me think that the whole situation isn't that bad, especially if the fine is only $1,500. But yeah, nonetheless, it isn't a good look for John Jones. I don't know what they're gonna do with this whole situation because the UFC haven't came out and spoke about it. So we will just have to sit tight and wait and see what the UFC say about it. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Dana White at the UFC 304 post-fight press conference sits down there and explains how this scenario here then makes John Jones the pound for pound number one. I wouldn't be surprised if he done something like that because the glazing they've been doing for John Jones recently has been insane. But yeah, speaking of UFC 304, will be interesting to see will they make an announcement on this before that event, because obviously you've got Tom Aspinall defending his interim title against Curtis Blades. The fact that there's an interim title even being defended is so fucking stupid. But yeah, who knows? I mean, I don't know when the trial is going to take place, but if John Jones is going to be facing jail time, surely they have to strip him of the title. Like, you cannot have your current heavyweight champion potentially be sent away to prison while he's the champion. Now, obviously, if he did go to jail, they would strip him, obviously. But it's not a good look for the UFC as a brand to have their heavyweight champion be in court. Now, I mean, obviously, John Jones's career has been plagued with trouble. Realistically, this guy's been in court how many times? He's failed PEDs. He's made the UFC look stupid on so many occasions, and they still defend him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he still kept hold of the belt after this whole situation. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, I don't know what he's being charged with. Two misdemeanors, but it doesn't really say what he's done. So you don't know how severe this situation is. But the fact that the fine is so low and he's not really facing that much jail time, obviously any jail time will be shit. But it makes me think it isn't that bad. But again, don't know. You have to just wait and hear more stories when they come out. See how the UFC handle it. See what Dana White says about it. See what the UFC do moving forward. But I mean, I feel like if they did strip him and make the 304 co-main event for the undisputed title, you couldn't really be annoyed about it. I mean, in my head anyway, you can't rely. Like, it's a bad look for the company to have their heavyweight champion, like I said, be going through court and potentially facing jail time. It just looks bad on them. And now obviously the UFC have been bought over by TKO, so now that they're in charge, they might be looking at this being like, this is such shit press, bad press, take the belt off this guy until this is all smoothed over and see what happens. More than likely he isn't going to go to jail though, in my opinion. Normally people with money are able to avoid jail. John Jones is a guy that has plenty of money, and the UFC love the guy to death apparently, even though he's fucked them over on numerous occasions. So I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up helping him out. But yeah, it will be interesting to see what this scenario will be for UFC 304. Also, about UFC 304, it feels like the UFC have done fucking zero promotion for this event, which is ridiculous. I mean, this is one of the biggest cards of the year, and it's next week. Yeah, it is next week, and the UFC have essentially not done any promotion at the minute from what I've seen, which is pretty weird. Maybe they're waiting to promote it because they knew that this had happened, so they're waiting to then change the promotional side of it to promote the heavyweight title, the actual undisputed heavyweight title. Who knows? I think it's not a good look for John Jones. I don't think the UFC will strip him, unfortunately, but let me know what you think in the comments below. What do we think? New Charles Oliveira graphic tees. I've got them linked in my TikTok bio. Be sure to head over there if you want to get yourself one. So many different sizes with two different colours, black and white. So I would appreciate any support. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you again in the next one.